The relationship between Iran and Israel is deeply rooted in historical complexities. It is a story of shifting alliances, ideological clashes, and geopolitical rivalries. Understanding the present state of animosity requires a journey back in time. Before the Iranian Revolution of 1979, Iran and Israel maintained a surprisingly cordial relationship. The Shah of Iran, Mohammad Reza Pahlavi, saw Israel as a strategic ally in the Middle East. This alliance was based on shared security concerns and economic interests. Israel, for its part, viewed Iran as a valuable partner in a region often hostile towards it. The two countries cooperated on various fronts, including intelligence sharing and trade. However, this period of cooperation would be short-lived. The overthrow of the Shah in 1979 marked a turning point in Iran-Israel relations. The Islamic Republic, under the leadership of Ayatollah Khomeini, adopted a fiercely anti-Israel stance. This shift set the stage for decades of animosity and mistrust. The Iranian Revolution of 1979 was a seismic event that reverberated throughout the Middle East and beyond. It brought about a fundamental transformation in Iran's domestic and foreign policies. The revolution's impact on Iran-Israel relations was immediate and profound. Ayatollah Khomeini, the leader of the revolution, viewed Israel as an illegitimate state and a symbol of Western imperialism. He called for the elimination of Israel and pledged support for Palestinian resistance groups. Khomeini's rhetoric resonated with many Iranians who had long sympathized with the Palestinian cause. The revolution unleashed a wave of anti-Israel sentiment in Iran, which the new government actively cultivated. Iran severed all diplomatic ties with Israel and declared its support for Palestinian groups opposed to Israel's existence. This marked the beginning of a period of open hostility between the two countries. Beyond ideological differences, geopolitical factors have played a significant role in shaping the Iran-Israel conflict. Both countries have strategic interests in the Middle East, which often put them at odds with each other. Iran, as a major regional power, seeks to expand its influence in the region. It has supported allied groups and movements in Lebanon, Syria, Iraq, and Yemen. Israel views Iran's growing influence as a direct threat to its security. Israel's regional policies, particularly its occupation of Palestinian territories, have also fueled tensions with Iran. Iran has consistently condemned Israel's actions and provided support to Palestinian groups resisting Israeli occupation. The competition for regional hegemony has created a complex web of alliances and rivalries. Iran and Israel find themselves on opposite sides of many regional conflicts, further exacerbating tensions between them. The Iran-Israel conflict is not merely a clash of geopolitical interest, but also a clash of ideologies. Religion and politics are deeply intertwined in both countries, shaping their worldviews and influencing their foreign policies. Iran, an Islamic republic, sees itself as a defender of Islam and the Muslim world. Israel, a Jewish state, views itself as a haven for the Jewish people and a guarantor of their security. These competing narratives contribute to a sense of mutual suspicion and distrust. Iran's leaders have often used religious rhetoric to demonize Israel and rally support for their policies. They have accused Israel of defiling Muslim holy sites and oppressing the Palestinian people. Israel, in turn, has accused Iran of promoting terrorism and seeking to destroy Israel. The ideological divide between Iran and Israel runs deep and has proven to be a major obstacle to any meaningful dialogue or reconciliation. The two countries view each other through the lens of their own historical narratives and ideological convictions. Section 5, America's Unwavering Ally, Understanding U.S. Support for Israel. The United States has been a steadfast ally of Israel since its founding in 1948. This support is a cornerstone of U.S. foreign policy and a source of tension in the region. Understanding the historical, strategic and political factors behind this alliance is crucial. The relationship is rooted in shared values, strategic interests and domestic politics. The US views Israel as a vital ally in a volatile region. The US has provided Israel with billions in military and economic aid. Section 6. The shadow of nuclear ambitions, Iran's nuclear program and Israel's concerns. Iran's nuclear program has been a major source of contention between Iran and Israel, as well as a focal point of international concern. Israel views Iran's nuclear ambitions as an existential threat, fearing that Iran intends to develop nuclear weapons and use them against Israel. Iran has consistently maintained that its nuclear program is for peaceful purposes only, such as energy production and medical research. However, Israel and many Western countries remain skeptical of Iran's claims. They point to Iran's history of secrecy and its refusal to fully cooperate with international inspectors as evidence of its malign intentions. The international community has imposed sanctions on Iran in an effort to curb its nuclear program. However, these sanctions have had a limited impact, and Iran has continued to develop its nuclear capabilities. The issue of Iran's nuclear program remains a major obstacle to any normalization of relations between Iran and the West, particularly with Israel. Section 7. Proxies and shadow wars. The battlegrounds beyond direct confrontation. While Iran and Israel have not engaged in direct military conflict, they have been locked in a shadow war for decades. This conflict has played out through proxies and covert operations, with both countries seeking to undermine each other's interests and influence in the region. Iran has provided support to militant groups such as Hezbollah in Lebanon and Hamas in Gaza, which have launched attacks against Israel. Israel, in turn, has conducted airstrikes against Iranian targets in Syria and allegedly carried out sabotage operations against Iran's nuclear facilities. The use of proxies allows both countries to strike at each other without risking a full-scale war. However, this shadow war has destabilized the region and resulted in the deaths of countless civilians. It has also heightened tensions between Iran and Israel, making any prospect of peace even more elusive. Section 8. The cost of conflict, economic and humanitarian consequences. The decades-long conflict between Iran and Israel has come at a significant cost, both economically and in terms of human suffering. The constant threat of war has hindered economic development in the region and diverted resources away from essential services. The arms race between Iran and Israel has drained their economies and fueled instability in the region. Both countries have allocated vast sums of money to their militaries, diverting resources from education, healthcare and infrastructure. The economic sanctions imposed on Iran have also had a devastating impact on its economy, leading to widespread poverty and hardship. Moreover, the conflict has resulted in the deaths of thousands of people, both combatants and civilians. The wars in Lebanon, Gaza and Syria, in which Iran and Israel have been involved either directly or through proxies, have caused immense human suffering and displacement. The humanitarian cost of this conflict cannot be overstated. Section 9. On the brink, potential scenarios of an Israel-Iran war. The possibility of a direct military confrontation between Israel and Iran is a constant source of anxiety in the Middle East and beyond. One scenario involves Israel launching a preemptive strike against Iran's nuclear facilities. Such an attack could trigger a wider war, with Iran retaliating against Israeli cities and US interests in the region. Iran could also target international shipping in the Strait of Hormuz, disrupting global oil supplies. The international community has a responsibility to prevent such a war and to work towards a peaceful resolution of the conflict. Section 10. A path forward. Exploring avenues for peace and dialogue. The path to peace between Iran and Israel is fraught with obstacles, but not insurmountable. Dialogue, diplomacy and compromise are essential to overcoming mistrust and hostility. Addressing issues like Iran's nuclear program and regional ambitions is crucial. Confidence-building measures such as prisoner exchanges could reduce tensions. International mediation could facilitate dialogue between Iran and Israel. Peace requires a shift in mindset and recognizing shared interests. Why do 70% of military enthusiasts debate over Iran and Israel's strength? Let's break it down. First up, Iran. Iran's military is known for its large manpower. With over 500,000 active personnel, they have strength in numbers. They also have a range of ballistic missiles and a growing drone program. Now let's talk about Israel. Israel's military might not be as large, but it's highly advanced. With cutting-edge technology and one of the best air forces in the world, Israel focuses on quality over quantity. They also have the Iron Dome, a defense system that shoots down incoming rockets. So, who's stronger? It depends on what you value more. Sheer numbers or advanced tech, both have their strengths, making this a tough call for any military enthusiast. Who do you think has the edge? Comment below.